cloven tongues is glossa.
Can you hear me, Tanya? Can you hear me? You must be frozen. I'm not sure if mine is, well, mine says it's fine. I'm not sure. I hope you guys can hear me. I know it's working because the thing's going up and down. I know it's working, but I've been watching videos here and there. I've been watching videos and all sorts of shit. Hey, Tanya, can you hear me? I was talking to you, but I don't know if you heard me or not. And then you said I must be frozen. And I was like, oh, Lord. I don't know if it was me or you or what. Oh, okay, cool. Good. Yeah, I had chicken breasts in the oven, like the shake and bake chicken breasts. I had that in the oven with um, vegetables and waffle fries. But I didn't have dinner with my mom. She was home with my. She had dinner with my brother, and then I had dinner here with my sister and my nephew. But we're supposed to have lobster tomorrow for the holiday. So my mom said she was gonna have dinner with my brother. So we might have lobster tomorrow, all of us. So I've got 3 lobsters in the freezer, but I need to find out what everybody's plan is because I don't want to just you know defrost them and then have them sitting there. I'll eat them, but. But yeah, even if my sister has plans with her sons, I'm gonna have a lobster with my mom. I'm just gonna go down there and have a lobster with her. or I might bring her up here because she's been home for the past. Well, not really. I took her to the grocery store yesterday and we gallivanted a bit. So yeah, she was home all day today because it's rain was raining all day today, so she didn't want to go nowhere. So I told her the weather's supposed to be a bit better tomorrow, so I might go down there and hang out with her for a bit. I need to go down to the garage anyway, to my mom's garage, because she said it's leaking. So I'm gonna go up there and check it out real quick. I need to find out where it's coming from. Yeah, I saw your videos. They were so nice. I don't know if that was today or whatever, but it wasn't. It was definitely nice weather. Okay, cool. Yeah, I thought it was today. Looked really nice. I saw the dog playing with the stick and stuff. The video you just posted before I went live. Yeah, it was. Diamond used to do that too. When I used to cut the trees, she used to take the tree and run off with it. I'm not a priest, so you can't make confessions to me. I have a confession. Okay. I'll listen to your confession. There is this plastic chair by the condos that is public. It doesn't belong to anybody. I ran down there and got in the seat and propped my feet up. And a lady was pissed. And I had my earphones on, so I didn't hear what she said. But I knew Phil would be proud of me for beating that lady to the chair. Hey, well, if that's what you did, that's what you did. To hell with it. Hey, Erica, how you doing? You good? How you feeling? Yeah, I'm sure he would have. That's probably why he was probably there watching the whole thing, and he was probably laughing. That's good. At least you got to it first. You good? Good to hear. Well, at least you had some type of excitement, Tanya. That's good. Are you getting ready for a New Year's party? Oh, good. That's cool. I hope you have fun. My New Year's party's right here. I ain't got no time for no New Year's party shit. I leave that to all these young people. They can have fun. I remember DJing for parties and being up till like 3 o'clock in the morning playing music and shit. I did so many parties and things like that. I went to so many parties. I'm all partied out. The weather was shitty all day today, but tonight it's actually pretty decent. At least people are gonna get to be outside tonight. It's it's pretty cool here, but it's not snowing like you guys and shit. Hell no. But at least the weather turned out to be pretty decent tonight. Put down there, sitting in a chair like Good. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm ready to say goodbye to this year. It's 10:23 here, so an hour and 37 minutes left of this bullshit. I'm ready to say goodbye to this year forever. It's one of the most annoying, emotional, fucked up years for me. I lost a lot of friends, family, my dog, my dad. A lot of fucking bullshit. It was a shit year for me as far as like emotions and losing people to death. So I hope next year I don't lose anybody else, and I hope all the losing of whatever is this year and go away. And I look forward to making next year better for myself more than anything. I need to take care of myself a little bit more, sort my shit out. My nephews want me to go away on trips with them next year because now Diamond's not here anymore. So I stayed here, I stayed home just to take care of her, and I didn't want to go away because I don't want to leave her with nobody else. She'd probably be devastated. But now that she's gone, I can travel again. I don't really feel like traveling, but next year is the World Cup. So the World Cup is in America next year. So I want to go watch Portugal play instead of traveling all the way to Portugal to watch them. They're going to be in the United States for the World Cup. So I want to definitely watch that. So God willing, if I reach there and everything's fine and I can make it, I'll definitely be going away around June, July for the World Cup for sure. Everybody's like, if the tickets are too expensive, man. I said, I don't give a fuck. There's only once in a lifetime. Sometimes you just gotta live life and spend a little money sometimes. I haven't traveled in January 20th. In 20 more days, it'll be 6 years I officially have not gone away. And it was a good decision to make because I got to save money and I got to like stay home and just do the things I need to do. But now I don't have Diamond anymore. I don't have my dad. So I might as well travel next year. And I have a reason to because the World Cup's going to be in the United States. So I get to go watch it. Yeah. Hey, Lockie, Happy New Year. Hopefully, I'll be able to travel. That'll be nice. My passport's still valid till 2028, so I'm good. You plan and God laughs, so we'll see. Maybe God's going to give me some glory next year to go away and travel for once and enjoy my life. I think I've put in a lot of time and effort to everybody else. I think it's time that this year coming I travel. I would like to go watch the World Cup games. I would love to go watch Portugal play. That would be like a dream come true. So that'll be nice. I definitely want to go to Boston again so I can go see the Celtics. I might go see like a baseball game too. That'll be nice. So we'll see. I need to do a lot of work here too, so I need to do a lot of things. Yeah, I feel like I deserve it. I've worked hard and I've been through a lot of shit. So I think it's time that I treat myself. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to plan anything. I told my nephews, look, I'm not planning anything. I'm not going to plan ahead. Every time I plan, shit goes wrong. So I just don't want to plan anything. They're like, all right, all right. I said, look, I can go away on the day. It doesn't matter. Like planning ahead doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to go. I've learned that a long time ago. So I told them, just please leave me alone and don't bother me about it. The more you bother me about it, the more I'm not going to want to go. It's bad enough I got to deal with everybody here, and I got to go away with you and get aggravated. So I told them I'll make my decision soon. But right now, I just need time to sort my shit out. I need to sort my life out. I got a lot of things to do. Erica, yeah, of course. Yeah. Yep. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. I thought so. Hmm. That's crazy. It's Tanya watching Mark on the big screen, and I'm in the jacuzzi drinking aloe water. What a combination! Oh Lord, have mercy! What a combination! What are you doing right now, Tanya? Well, I'm watching Marky Mark's Terror, and I'm in the jacuzzi, and I got a bottle of aloe water. Oh, yeah, that's great. Oh shit. Oh, just living it up. Oh man. He was a fiasco. Ugh. I got all my windows and doors closed, and it's still like kind of chilly in here tonight. It's not chill. It's like damp. I can feel the dampness in the air. I mean, I like it, but it's kind of like here in Bermuda, it doesn't get like cold, cold, but it's like it's got that dampness feeling. Like it's you know it's a little cool. Give me a second. I'm just gonna do something here. Let me check something real quick. Of course, you're gonna ask me for that. 3. Oh my God, my eyes. 393966. All right, cool. All right, let's see what we got here. I need that. Just like I thought. I knew it wasn't in there. That's so hilarious. Okay. I knew it wasn't going to be there, but it's all good. Okay, cool. Hey, Marilyn, how you doing? What am I going to do with you, Marilyn? What am I going to do with this woman? And she puts in parentheses, don't project. LOL. Do you ever think about like calling her and asking her? Or you're like, you just want to ask me instead? You sent her a Christmas card. What is wrong with you, woman? I don't know why people like get disrespected and they still like just brush it to the side and just be nice anyway. Whoever taught people how to do that is not the right way. I'm gonna have to write a book on how to say fuck you forever. And hopefully like when people read it, they understand how to do it. I can teach people how to do it. How do I don't understand how you can send this person a Christmas card. What is wrong with you? Why would you waste your energy and time? Do you actually think you're gonna get one in return? When you sent her the Christmas card, did you say I'm gonna get one in return? Oh shit! Damn it! Yeah, it's a perfect title. Yeah, how to say fuck you forever. That's what I live and die by. I don't deal with people after they fuck me over or talk shit. Once you do that to me, you're gone. You're finished. You're nothing to me. That's how I am. That's how I always been. Some people say, "Oh, well, you should forgive people." Forgive who? I'm not God to be forgiving nobody. Hell no. She probably ripped that shit up and put it right in the trash. She be like, "Merry Christmas from Maryland." Man, fuck this bitch. Check. Goodbye. Throw that shit in the trash. That's what she probably did. Yep. Yeah, she did. For sure. She ripped that card up and threw it in the trash. You just wasted all that time and money for a Christmas card and writing, hey auntie, Merry Christmas, love Maryland. Hey Luna, how you doing? Happy New Year. All right, so what I got here is she pretty much thinks that you were brave to do such a thing. And she also thinks that, you're always trying to like put forth your action towards her to show that, hey, I'm still here, or hey, why don't you talk to me type of thing, or like, hey, you know how I am, so I'm taking action. I'm showing you like, who I am, my character, and this and that. That's what she thinks and feels about you. But she still has bad intentions. She still has bad faith. She doesn't want no friendship. She doesn't value the friendship that she had with you, or doesn't want that. I feel like she's like moved on from this whole thing, and she just probably doesn't want to obsess over it, you know, and she doesn't like want to deal with it anymore. She also feels like this whole family, situation was just a matter of differences of opinion, and just people being unhappy and being petty and just arguing over not over simple things. But I still don't see her being like, you know happy about the whole thing. but she feels like, you went out of your way to do it, so be it. But she doesn't really care. It doesn't show me any type of like, you know, remorse or feelings or good thoughts. There's still bullshit here. There's still like nothing. You're upright in the cards, but not her. She's still like got that bad feeling, that bad taste in her mouth type of thing. She doesn't value her friendships and her you know, things like that. Doesn't seem like she values the friendship that she had with you. And see, when people don't communicate and don't speak to you, that means they don't give a shit about you. Because if they really valued your friendship and who you are, they would have they would have communicated with you. When she got that Christmas card, she probably could have said, at least she sent me a Christmas card. Let me be at least decent enough to talk, to call her back or call her and say, hey, thanks for the Christmas card. After everything that's happened, I appreciate it, or let's, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But she didn't. So that should tell you something. That should tell you that she don't give a fuck. Because if she did, then she would say something. And the cards are pretty much reversed here, saying that she doesn't care. So it doesn't look like she values anything that you do. So she also might think you did it just to get a reaction out of her to see what she would say, you know. But obviously it didn't work because you would have heard from her by now. So, well, I mean, if somebody gave me a Christmas card after arguing with me, or I argue with them, or I don't talk to them, and you still give me a Christmas, I would probably throw it in the trash. Because I don't want nothing from anybody that I don't like or I don't associate with. That's for sure. But that's just me. I didn't. I'm not gonna project myself. But if you don't believe that, that's okay. You know, I'm just saying that's what I believe. But so she doesn't value your friendship or doesn't value you. So ain't nothing changed. Still the same thing. All because you gave her a Christmas card ain't gonna change nothing. Like I said, she probably was like, yeah. Does she speak to your mom? Like, did she call your mom and say Happy Merry Christmas or whatever? Some Scorpio people, they ain't gonna want to speak to you after that. They'll be like, yeah, I argue with you. I don't like you no more. I don't care about you. They move on. They're like Aquarius sometimes. After all, we're fixed signs. So the fixed signs usually are like, fuck you. We'll fix our own problems. We don't need you. Mm. Well, that's good. Well, that's her sister at the end of the day. So if she doesn't talk to you, then what does that say? I would say what? I think it was a week ago. Yeah, it was like a week ago. I used to work with this guy, and I encouraged him to go on his own, and I've known him for like maybe 20 years, maybe about that. I would say 20 years. And I stopped speaking to him, and I cut him off because he did some shady shit and shit that I didn't like, and I cut him off. And I haven't spoke to him in probably, I don't know, maybe 10 years. I haven't spoke to him. Maybe. I think it's probably maybe a little less than that, maybe 8 or 9, 10 years, something like that. And I haven't spoken to him since. And then I haven't seen him face to face either. So last week I was at the grocery store, and he was in the same grocery store. I didn't know. And he came around the corner, and he looked at me, and he said, "Hi." And he extended his fist, and I fist bumped him, and I told him hi back. And I haven't spoke to him. I cut him off, and I haven't spoke to him in years. But he's the one who spoke to me first and extended his fist. But if he didn't, I wouldn't have spoken to him. And that's the only way I'm going to speak to somebody I haven't spoke to in years. I'm not going to speak to you. I'm the one who cut you off. So I'm not going to speak to you back. But he spoke to me probably out of guilt and probably out of like, whatever. But that's on him. That ain't on me. I don't really care. I would have never spoke to him anyway. I would have walked right across him. Because that's who I am. I'm not going to speak to you. Fuck you. That's why I cut you off, because I don't want you in my life. You're a fucking, a shady character. You did some dumb shit. And I'm not going to forgive you for that. Should have paid attention. But anyway, long story short, he spoke to me. But if he didn't, I wouldn't have spoke to him. Simple. But, you can't really change people. People got to change on their own. But at least she calls your mother. After all, that's her sister, right? Some people are weird like that. Some people are just never going to speak. There's a lot of people I refuse to speak to because I know what they've done and I don't like them. I'm the type of person I can't put up with people like that. I can't put up with people who are like fair weather friends and people who talk shit and then, they say, "Oh, I'm sorry," whatever. But you're shitty. You're fucking. You did wrong. So why am I gonna speak to you? Hell no. Less people I speak to, the better. And here in Bermuda, like everybody knows everybody pretty much, because it's so small and people know people and people know these people and that people and this people and whatever, and it comes back around. So there's a lot of people I see that I don't like, and I have problems with. I see them all the time. Sometimes I don't see him at all. I also saw a guy at the grocery store that I used to work with for years, and then we fell out, and then he was walking around the store acting like he was the happiest person in the world. And I just looked at him. I said, "I ain't even looking at this guy." I saw him, and then I just turned my head. I'm like, "I ain't speaking to this fool." He came right next to me as if like he was gonna speak, and then he turned. He turned at the last minute. He must have said, "Yeah, Mark ain't speaking to me." And he knows my dad passed away, but he wouldn't even come up to me and say, "Hey, blah, blah, blah," nothing. And I was like, "Fuck you, you piece of shit." It just shows you who, like, all this shit. And the thing is, the guy I'm talking about now, I did a lot of shit for that guy. I put clothes on his back, money in his pocket, did all this shit for him, took him all over the place, transportation, helped him out, listened to his bullshit, hooked him up. He wouldn't even come up to me and say, hey, despite everything, sorry about your dad or whatever, nothing. I said, God, this just shows me that I made the right decision by not dealing with a piece of shit like you. And that's exactly how I live my life. Because the real ones will like push shit aside in times like that. But they won't. They won't do shit like that. They don't care. Fucking assholes, man. You have an Aquarian cousin who is very angry with my mother. He decided to cut her off forever. That situation. Hey Starlight, how you doing? Hugs to you too, sweetheart. Thanks. Well, that's the thing. Some people, some Aquarian people and some whoever people, like it you know, not all Aquarians are like me either. I know Aquarius people that are forgiving and talk to people and they're cool with them again and shit like that. But my sister's a Sagittarius and she cuts people off just like me. She's a Sagittarius, so she does the same thing I do. She cuts people off and don't speak to them no more. She learned from the best, her brother. But people act like that's a bad thing. But if you don't hold yourself accountable, then that's a different story because two wrongs don't make a right. You know what I mean? But some people just feel like they don't want to speak to you no more, and that's okay. People gotta accept it. There's a one of my best friends for years cut me off for nothing, for his own stupidity, and he didn't want to take accountability, so he was like, "Fuck you, I'm not taking accountability." And then I spoke to him one day, and he just ignored me, and I was like, "Okay." And I said it right in front of somebody else. I'm like, "Okay, bro, you don't want to speak to me? That's fine. No problem, bro. I ain't done nothing to you. I have nothing on my conscience. I can honestly look you guys in the camera right now and say I have nothing on my conscience with anyone in this world that I've done something wrong to them. Because I don't do wrong. I don't do wrong to nobody. I don't want to. I don't have that in my heart to do bad shit to people. For what? So I can get karma? So I can fucking have that shit on my conscience that I did something bad to somebody? Hell no. But if you do bad shit to me, I'm getting rid of you. Fuck you. Because I don't deserve what you're doing to me. What the fuck I do to you to deserve some bad shit? You're jealous or you're weird or you just want to just do bad shit to me just for the hell of it? Fuck that. You're damn right a mean cutoff game is valuable. It's valuable to your health, your mind, your soul, and your life. Cutting people off that's not good for you is a great thing because you'll never regret it. Because people deserve to be cut off after what they do to you. And if you keep letting them do it, dumb, stupid you are. Yeah. Like if you can honestly say that I'm gonna cut off this person right now because I know personally I've not done nothing wrong. Now, but if you take accountability for what you've done, but the person done something worse to you, then that's different too, right? You have a reason, and you take accountability. Hey Dan, how you doing, brother? So that's just it. Starlight, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it, sweetheart. Sending love right back to you. I hope you have a wonderful 2026. Your mother did apologize to him and she meant it. He just really never forgave. Yeah, some people just, I accept apologies, but I don't believe them. Because Because I know deep down inside, a lot of people who apologize is only because I cut them off and they need me. That's the only reason why. A lot of people just they know they did wrong, but if you know you did wrong, then why you do it? You know. But I can understand, like, oh, Mark, I jumped the gun. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to, like, judge you. I didn't mean to, like, say, what I said, but like, I didn't know. So, I went off of a misunderstanding or something like that. Now and then I'll accept your apology because I knew that you probably didn't know you got tricked by somebody else. Now that's a different apology, right? But if you outright do some dumb shit to me for no reason, and then later on you're like, "Hey man, I'm sorry. I didn't think. I didn't. I was an idiot." Man, fuck that. I ain't accepting your apology for that. I don't really accept people back in my life or even want to talk to you after you do some dumb shit to me. That ain't happening. But I'll be the first person to take accountability for anything. That's just me personally. Because I can't live with myself if I don't take accountability if I do something wrong. So that's why I don't want to do nothing wrong. So that way I don't have to take accountability because I don't want to take accountability for something that I did wrong because I don't want to do nothing wrong, you know? And a lot of people say to me, "Oh, Mark, you should get over things and you should let go of this and let go of that." I have. What are you talking about? If I don't speak to this person no more, I let them go. I don't want to deal with this person anymore. And if someone comes to me and say, "Hey, Mark, so and so wants to, like, speak to you because they feel bad about what they did," and I'll tell that person, "You can go right back and tell that person go fuck themselves." Literally, I would tell them go do it. Come on, man. Some people are like, "Oh, come on, man, just speak to him." And no, hell no. For what? So you can do the exact same thing again in the future? And then what's that gonna make me look like? That's gonna make me look like a dumbass. Even if you don't do it, I'm still gonna think about what you did. I'm not gonna let that shit go. I can't trust somebody that does some shit like that. Mm-mm. I know people make mistakes, but you're an adult. You know what you're doing. You know what you're saying. You know what you're doing. You know. You know you're disrespecting somebody. You just know you're doing it. You know. You have common sense. You know what the deal is. Now, a little simple mistake is a mistake. And I'll brush it to the side and be like, "Okay, cool. I know you didn't know. I'm sorry. My bad." Okay, cool. Yeah, whatever. But if you outright, do bad shit, then you can't really accept that person back. Mm-mm. There's certain things you should never forgive, and there's certain things that you should never forget, and there's people that you should not have in your life. You know, even when you give that person energy, like asking about them, talking about them, and it's hard not to because I'm guilty of that. There's sometimes where I talk about somebody who's done something wrong to me, and then I catch myself very quickly, and I'm like, "Mark, don't do it. Don't talk about them. Don't talk about this person no more." Because you're just giving them your energy. You're letting, you know, you're kind of letting you're letting your mind drift off into something that you already let go. So why talk about it? Why deal with it? Why think about it? Why give it your energy? So sometimes I have to, like, program my mind to not go back into that gutter of bullshit about that person. But sometimes you talk about it in a way where it doesn't bother you, and you just, like, make it, like, I can talk about people that I dealt with in a manner where I can say, "Oh yeah, that person did me wrong too," or back in the day on here, somebody did this to me. I can talk about it, and I won't get mad. Like, I won't feel a rage like I felt when I cut the person off or had an argument with that person. I can easily talk about things that I've cut off already. because I know I'm not giving it my energy. I'm using it as an example, or I'm using it as like a way to talk about it, and not be all like, "Arr," like I used to be, you know. But a lot of people used to tell me years ago that, oh, you need to go to anger management because you hate everyone. And now everybody tells me, now I know what. See, I was always ahead of the game. And people always said, oh, you shouldn't hate people. And, you said people are so dumb. And, I say, yeah, you'll see, you'll catch on. As you get older, you'll realize more and more that half the people you talk to are stupid as shit, dumb as shit, and ain't no reason they should be in your life. Because all they're doing is dragging you down and wasting your energy and draining your energy. And ain't nobody gonna tell me that ain't true, because it is. And once you cut your circle down to almost no one but yourself and your immediate people you love, you'll realize that what I just said is true. Because when you have too many people around you, you start to realize that this fucking person is dumb as shit. I can't deal with them no more. They just drain my energy, or they say the stupidest shit, or I just can't deal with this person because of their life, and they're always nagging me and irritating me. Because when you're too nice, you're not gonna win. It's when you like cut people off, that, hey, look, this is who my real friends are. Oh yeah, definitely, Dan. I agree. Exactly. That's a good way to put it, Starlight. I like that. If you cut them off, chances they handed the scissors. Yeah, half the time they put them themselves in their own predicament. You put yourself there. I why if anybody who I have cut off in this world and in this lifetime, if you ask them why did Mark cut you off, and they'll probably say because I did this to him. They're never gonna say, "Oh, he cut me off because he did this to me." Ain't nobody ever gonna say that Mark did something to me and that's why he cut me off because I retaliated and then he cut me off. No, 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 no. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I don't go looking for trouble. Trouble just occurs and happens. And sometimes you could be like a person like me where you don't want no beef, you don't want no arguments, and you just want to be happy and laugh and just, talk like you do every day. And then somebody just says, let me fuck with this guy today. Let me aggravate him. Let me piss him off. Let me disrespect him. And then those are the people that you just say to yourself, wow, you actually like want to do that? Okay, cool. Then when you fall down the steps, 5 minutes later, you understand that you shouldn't have done that. That's why shit happens to people because they shouldn't fuck with certain people that don't like, put that on your plate. Like you don't need to bring shit to someone's table. Leave them alone. Don't poke the bear. Why are you disrespecting somebody who don't deserve it? That don't make no sense. You're damn right it does. I know mine does every day. But I don't care. That's their problem. Yeah. It's just sad that people have to, always like poke somebody or disrespect somebody just to like do it on purpose and stuff. It's just weird. I don't get why people just always start trouble for nothing. Yeah. And it's so crazy because like this year there's been some incidents where, I'm sitting here talking about things and then people think that, oh yeah, he's calling me out indirectly or whatever. Man, I talk about shit randomly all day. Or because it applies to you, then maybe you were in the right place at the right time to hear the criticism indirectly about the way you live your life. And maybe you probably got offended because I say something that pertains to you, but it's not, I didn't call your name, did I? Because don't worry, I can if I want to. and then we can go at it if you want. So if you're offended by something I say and you think I'm talking about you, then why you don't say something? Go ahead. And I'll be like, well, you obviously got some guilt in your mind then. Or if you don't like what I say, why you just don't scroll? Why you just don't leave? If it bothers you that much. Instead, you want to go around claiming this and claiming that and just being a fucking idiot instead of just speaking up. Yeah, exactly. If the shoe fits, wear it. If not, I'll kick you in the ass with my size 10 and a half. And Dan's got an even bigger shoe size. He'll kick you in your ass too. Right, Dan? You got me, brother? Appreciate it. It's not easy. But I try to teach people on here for years that you're better off cutting people off for good. Because if you don't, then you risk the consequence of that person doing the same thing to you again, or you risk yourself, wasting your energy again and again and again and again. And then you end up looking like an idiot because you should have done it the first time. And I've been through that. I've given people chances and they come back and it's like you ain't changed one bit. Yeah. Some people that come in here, I've given a second chance to, and they know who they are, and they still test me to no limit sometimes. They still test me to delete them again or get rid of them again or just, fuck them off again because I think that they just don't get it. And then when I finally do it, they're gonna go when they see you somewhere, they're gonna be like, Mark deleted me. Mark's bad. I don't know what I did. They play the guilt, they like the victim. It was Mark. Mark hates me. Mark's so rude. Mark is this. He was talking about me. I know he was talking about me. Well, if you knew I was talking about you, then fucking go then. I was trying to tell you indirectly, get the fuck out of here before I delete you. Because all you are is a fucking pain in the ass. Idiot. I gave you a chance to run, but you didn't. You want to continue to come in here and aggravate me. You know what I mean? Anyway, I just looked up and it says 11/11. And I would like to wish that 2026 is the best year for everybody in this room right now. I really do wish that for you. You can have my wish. As long as you wish me the best. Oh, Dan, that's every time. Happy New Year, Sophie. How you doing? The problem with that, Dan, is it's an obsession, and they have to deal with it, not me. I promised myself that I'm no longer going to like tell people what to do with their money and their reads and their what they want to ask me. At the end of the day, you want to pay my bills, go right ahead. You want to pay me to answer your silly question or your repetitive question, then that's fine. Go right ahead. That's what I'm here for. Spirit wants you to pay my bills too, so that way they can hang out here. That's how I look at it now. And God bless my other psychic friend that told me the same thing. Thank you, Starlight. I wish you the same. Always. I've had a really tough year, with a lot of things happen, but I'm still good. I'm not gonna sit there in the corner and cry like a little bitch about all the things that happened to me. Life goes on. Spirit doesn't want me to sit here and moan and bitch and complain about shit. Death is inevitable. Life is just the way it's gonna be. It sucks. How much more you want me to cry? How much more you want me to soak and moan about life? You think I'm gonna sit here and blame God for my problems, or blame God because the person gone? No, I'm gotta keep going, bro. I gotta keep doing what I gotta do. Off camera, I'll cry and I'll soak and I'll bitch and moan on my own time, and that's just the way it's been. Coming on here gives me relief, gives me something to talk about, something to do. You know, everybody in here has been through shit before me. You know, so now I'm in the same boat as you, and that's just the way life is. I've learned not to complain about it. You know, it sucks. You know, I can't believe that my dad and my dog's gone. I still think that it's not real. I still think it's like a dream, and I'm gonna wake up and it's not gonna be what it is. But that's not true. It's not gonna happen. You're gone. You're gone. Your physical presence will not be seen anymore. But I always preach on here. How many times do I say your spiritual presence is there now? And that's how I just gotta believe that it is. I gotta believe my own words, what I preach to the world, and I have to preach it to myself. I have to believe my own words now and believe my own philosophy. And it's hard to swallow because it's my turn now. You know. And there's like this saying where, you know, eventually what you say comes true. And it did for me. You know. It's been the hardest adjustment of my life. But everybody's gone through it. Now it's my turn. And with your help, I've gotten through. So and that's why I'm here, because you guys are the only ones that really give a shit and really have gone through the things that I'm going through now. Absolutely. I feel that that's the case, for sure, Starlight. And Dan, yeah, you're right. It does take time. I watched Tanya go through it for the last year. You know, I watch everybody go through it. And it's not the first time and it won't be the last time. When my friend Sue died a couple years ago, that used to come in here every day. That hurt so much. It still does. It still does hurt seeing one of the main people you connect with for years die, that was in your chat room every day. Someone you talk to offline, you know, somebody who is actually your friend. And somebody it's like she was a client, a friend, she was like family to me. And losing her wasn't easy. It still isn't, you know. Me and Paris were talking about her today, how much we miss her. But we know that those people are in spirit now and they're with us regardless. But, you know, it's the adjustment of making it a reality every day is the task. Absolutely, Dan. I agree. I agree. Sis is definitely and definitely giving me the strength to deal with things. If she can do it, I can do it, you know? And I've seen her go through that transition period. So, and she always thanks us for helping her get through it. And now she's, you know, helping others. So that's what we all do in here. We all help each other. And just like Starlight says now, 17 years ago, her dad and dog went in the same month. See, that's why I'm saying that's why we're all here because we all go through the same shit. And like now it's my turn because a lot of you don't even have your parents, and a lot of you have one parent or two parents or none. There's hardly anybody in this room that has their parents left. I was like probably the only one, you know. And then well, Marley has her parents, but she's younger than us, you know. But that doesn't mean anything, you know. You can still be young and lose your parents, but yep. Well, my mom's friend saw her and me at the grocery store yesterday, and she lost her husband 10 years ago. And she came up to my mom and said, you know, the first year is going to be very difficult, and after that, you should start to get a little better. And my mom says, the first year, this hasn't even been 2 months. It's been 2 months already. It's almost 2.5 months, really. And you know, my mom's still devastated. She cries every day. You know, she's home alone. And then, like I said, we all come to visit her and talk to her on the phone every day. My mom's best friend called her yesterday while I was there. So I was like, thank God, you know, I'm leaving. And then the best friend called. So I'm like, good. Keep my mom occupied, you know, whether it's the phone or like just like tonight, when before I ate dinner, my mom called and me and my sister, we had her on speakerphone and we were all three of us were talking. And my you could hear the happiness of her talking to us and stuff. So it's nice. If anybody, you know, she's hurting a lot, you know. And my mom feels bad for me because she's like, I know how you must feel, you know, about Diamond and stuff. You know, that's how I feel about your father and this and that. You know, it's somebody you see every single day of your life and you live with them. You know, so it's hard. You know, it's hard to lose that person you see every day or that animal you see every day. You know, I'm still destroyed inside because I don't have her here. But, you know, it's going to take time. It's only been 2 days. Sometimes I think it's bullshit. Sometimes I think it's like, something, I don't know. It's such a weird feeling. I feel relief in one way because I know she's not, I feel relieved that she's not suffering anymore. And I feel relieved that she doesn't, have pain. But at the same time, like I don't know how to feel sometimes because it's annoying. You think about what you could have done and if she would have miraculously gotten better, and then you're like, no. Then everybody's telling me constantly, it's a miracle for her to live that long. And the reason she did was because of you. So when I hear things like that, it reassures me that I did the right thing. But what is the right thing? You know, letting her suffer and die on her own, or take her out of her misery so she doesn't have to suffer anymore. Like, what's right? What's wrong? You know? So it's a fucked up situation that you have to go through. And even with my first dog, that was the worst ever. Seeing him just sitting there watching me leave the vet, and he's there with a purple leg ready to die. And it's nothing I can do. I felt so hopeless. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Dogs can't have wheelchairs. What am I gonna do? Let him suffer with no fucking legs? That's just it's a different thing with an animal. And even with a human being, many people on life support, and then they ask you want to pull the plug because they're gonna be a vegetable for the rest of their life. They're not gonna say anything to you no more. And you're like, what the fuck? And then you just wish that they would just go on their own so you don't have to do it. But then if that happens, it has to be something that's like my dad. He just, had a heart attack and boom, gone, you know? So it's like, and then my mom said it's fucked up because, he just went just like that. And I told my mom I would rather him go one time than to go see him at a home, a year from now and he don't even know who I am. That shit would destroy me, or see him in fucking diapers and shit. I don't want that, man. Fuck that. I'm glad sometimes the way people go because that's because they don't deserve to suffer. See, the way you die determines on whether or not, you know, how you lived your life, one, or like what you've done and people don't know, or just the way your path is. So you can question it many ways, you know, and it's not up to you to judge that. It's up to God to make that decision. So that's just my opinion overall. Yeah, she definitely was Starlight. I didn't know anybody who didn't like her, and everybody knows, she was everything to me, even though some days I wanted to kill her. I remember like last month when she aggravated me so much, like she was being really rude and like she was being like naughty, and she knew it too. And like I walked in the door and I closed the door and I said to myself, you know what? When you fucking go one day, dog, you're gonna be a goddamn relief. But you say it out of anger, right? Because they're not paying attention or they're not listening or they do some dumb shit. And you're like, oh. But she was so stubborn, man. I used to tell her, come over here, get away from that pool. When she fell in the pool and then I saved her, she kept going around the goddamn pool all the time. It was like she was so stupid she never wanted to listen, you know? And then I said, well, if you're not gonna listen, you're gonna feel. You're gonna feel like, a change. So that's when I changed her whole life and put her over the other side of the house and took her from her domain and put her in a small confined space because she didn't want to pay attention, you know? And then it was the fear of me not being here and something happening to her again. So my mind's going a mile a minute. So then when I put her over there, I felt a little better because I knew she was safer. And then that lasted 2 weeks and then bang, gone. So I did everything I could for her to the last minute. So I have no regrets. I have no, I know I did everything I could to save her life and to make her better. But it was I just hated her stubbornness. Like I just wish she would just like understand, you know. Like, damn it, dog. You just almost died in this damn thing. Why you going near it? It's like she never got it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Never seen blue. First time on the channel. Can you still donate? Yeah, you can still donate. Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean that happens, Starlight, you know. I don't know, just the timing of everything is also like a question I ask, you know, is why now? And why like right after this? Or why did why did my dad and my dog that I saw all the time and was in this apartment every week together watching games, and you know, why did it all happen all one time, you know? But that's how it happens. They say it happens in twos and threes, and you know, when one person goes, another one goes. And maybe, you know, it was just the way it was supposed to be. I can't change that. I mean, I have no power to, you know, change someone's death certificate, you know. I can't sit there and be like, okay, God, please, you know, don't do this to me, and then it happens anyway, you know. So I'm not God and I'm not trying to be, but I just, you know, and I never question what he does. Not really. You know, I never, when my dad died, I didn't say, why God, you know, why you do this to me? I'm not that type of person. Like, I know it's not God's, you know, problem or his fault. It's that person's health that put him in the predicament that they're in, right? You get old, you get unhealthy, you get diseases, you have problems. You can be young and have the same thing and die. You know, death has no time on it. You know, you're gonna die. You're gonna fucking die. You know, it's just the way it is. Sometimes you can be healthy as can be and get hit by a car and die. So as long as we can accept that that's the way it is, then it's not God's fault or my fault or your fault. It's just the way it is, and we have to accept it. You don't have to, but you know, eventually you probably will. Never seen blue. Thanks for the super chat. You said, "What's coming up in your love life?" I agree with that, Starlight. No time is easy, but you know, the people put in your mind, oh, uh, you have to be old to die. you know, that's not true. You can die at any age, right? The first thing you're guaranteed in life is when you're born, your time is already ticking. You're gonna die after that. You're born, and then you're gonna live so long. As soon as you're born, your death certificate is already there. It's already imprinted in your arrival. Your arrival's right there, and your departure's already been predicted. So you only have this amount of time to live. You're damn right. That's for sure, Dan. Or you could take your own life. That's the sad part. Uh, Never seen what I'm getting as far as your love life. In the next 2 months, I don't really see anything significant happening in your love life. I feel like you punish yourself. I feel like you think that, you're not good enough sometimes, or you think that something might be wrong with you, or you think that nobody wants you. Try not to think that if you do, okay? Because that's just gonna like set you back even further. Sometimes we don't find love, or we don't have a love life, is because it's just not our time, or it's just not meant to be. And some people are not meant to be in a relationship for the rest of their life or only for a certain amount of time. And you can create a love life, but let alone could be bad or it could be good or not last long at all. But I would say from now until the end of February, the next 2 months, I don't see any love life action here. I don't see like a partner, or I don't see you getting involved with anyone. What I do see is self punishment, self denial, not enough self love. And you just like saying, okay, I would like to have a partner, but this person that I met doesn't seem fair, or they don't seem like the person that I want. I don't know if I really want this person because of this or that. And I also feel like, your idealistic person is not really real right now. Sometimes what we want and what preferences we have is two different things, right? You can want somebody, but you don't need that person. And the person you need is not necessarily the person you want. But I do see that you'll be happy either way. Like, even if you're not going to have a love life in the next 2 months, I still feel like you'll have productiveness in your life and you'll be happy with the things you do in your life. Like your finances or your job or where you live can be good, but you just want a love life that is not really existing right now. Yeah. Even like in March and April, I don't see a love life here, but like what I do see is like people are, people might be that a person might be in your life, but they're not just the one. Like, you can meet somebody, but they're still not the one. You can meet somebody, but they're not really the right person. You maybe you get to know them and you realize that, hey, look, I can't be with this person. So in the next 4 months, I would say there is no serious love life or love relationship. So if you're single looking for a relationship, I don't see you having one in the next 4 months. But if you're with somebody right now, then I would say you and that person won't be completely together in the next 4 months. Yeah, that happens, Tanya. I know somebody that's been married a couple of times, and every time they got married, the older one died, the younger one died, and now she's got one almost the same, age, and he's almost gone too. You're welcome, Never Seen. I appreciate you asking the question and giving me a super chat. So just keep loving yourself is my advice to you. Keep loving yourself, bettering yourself. Self love is the best love. When you can't find or don't have a love life, you create your love life for yourself. And then one day somebody might see you and want to love you and be your partner. You know. I always tell everybody, if you're not in love with anybody or nobody's in love with you and you don't have a relationship, just love yourself. That's the best thing you can do. Don't ever think that you're a problem or you're not good enough. And I'm not saying you think like that, but most of us do. They say you start to question why you don't have anybody. The reason you don't have anybody is because you have standards, values, morals, and you want somebody that's going to complete the cycle with you or be together with you forever. You don't want just some, idiot in your life. So, best thing to do is keep working on yourself, keep making your life better. You don't need nobody to complete you. You need to complete yourself first, and then you'll be complete for someone else. Being single is great because you get to do what you want without nobody aggravating you. But it would be nice to have somebody though, that's for sure. But don't just settle for anybody. You got to find the best person for you. That's why I've been single for years. I can't find nobody crazy enough to be with me. I just lost the love of my life. So, my dog, she was the most loyal woman in my life, most loyal female in my life. And I just lost her 2 days ago. So, yep, single is so peaceful. It definitely is. I feel the same way, Starling. I'm glad I met, a lot of you. A lot of you, majority of you guys are new. I just met some of you this year, last year. I still have my, people I've known for years that come in here. Well, the lonely parts, I feel the loneliness now. Ever since my dog died on Monday, I feel lonely right now. I feel like empty. I feel like I'm coming inside and I don't see my dog no more. I go outside, she's not there. I have to dismantle all the box I just built for her and the gate. And I threw all the beds that she peed all over and all in the trash. I still got to put a lot of other things and donate some things. I bought all this dog food before she died. Now I'm gonna go donate the dog food to the SPCA, in memory of her. So I'm gonna do that this week too, probably on the weekend. But it's the worst feeling in the world losing her because I've been with her for the past 10 years and, you know, everybody used to tease me and say that she was my girlfriend. And I was like, yeah, I'd rather have her than some raunchy hoe. So yeah, I'll take her over any woman for sure. At least I know she's loyal and she'll protect me and she'll love me, which she did. So it's the hardest thing ever for me is losing her right now after losing my dad. So I'm trying to keep, myself focused on what's next. So, but yeah. But we all go through it. It's a part of life. It's just my turn now. And God wouldn't put us in this predicament if He knew we couldn't handle it. So remember that. That's what I remember every day. I'm very strong when it comes to death and losing people and things and pets. Been there, done that. So I deal with it and then I just let it go. I still smell her, to be honest. It's weird. I still smell her and she's not even here. But I still smell her here and there. And that's what spirit does. They give you the smell sometimes. Yeah, that's true. I'll let you know. Yeah, it is. I must have taken at least a million pictures of her in the last 10 years. This year, I took a lot of pictures of her because I was with her like 24/7. Because I kind of felt that she was, deteriorating a lot. So I took a lot more pictures of her. And even the day she died, I took a picture of her. So, yeah, it sucks a lot, especially today because I was home all day. It was raining all day. And usually when it rains, she'll be in here with me all day because it's raining and she won't be outside. Obviously, she'll be in here. And it sucks also because every time I eat dinner, I always used to give her some. And now, like, I ate, like, for instance, I ate two slices of pizza today that was left over from yesterday. And usually I give her the crust and she'll hold it in her hand and she'll eat it. And then I looked at the crust and I was like, fuck, I can't even give it to her. She's not here. I got to eat the damn crust now. So there's things that I'm going to keep remembering over and over. And it'll probably bother me here and there. Might shed some tears, obviously. But, you know, it's just fucked up. But the positive thing is she doesn't have to suffer anymore. That's the only positive thing about death is that person no longer has to suffer the pain and the agony and the bullshit. So I can totally understand, you know, that I'm happy in that way that I know they don't have to suffer because suffering is fucked up. Pain is fucked up. So yeah, I know, right, Starlight? We're all in different time zones. It's 11:46 p.m., so it's almost midnight here, and I can officially say F 2025 forever. Even though some parts were good. Much love to you too, Starlight. Thank you for coming in, and I appreciate the donation too. Thank you. I'll get you some cards next time you come in. We'll wait. We'll wait till we'll wait till tomorrow when it's official. Even though you're ahead of time. I gotta get a new calendar. My calendar right now still has January on it. I think I'm gonna make a calendar. I'm gonna go on Amazon and like make a calendar. Put like pictures of Diamond on there, my dad, myself, my nephews, my life. I think just gonna upload a bunch of photos. I need to find 12 nice photos for the whole year and just design my own calendar. Oh no, Luna, that sucks. To remove her toy from her intestines. Ugh. Poor dog. What type of dog do you have? See, that's another thing about having a animal like a puppy or a dog is they just eat shit, like they tear up everything. You got to monitor them so much, and sometimes it doesn't. It takes a matter of a minute, One time, my dog, she the boys used to blow bubbles, and they used to have those big bottles of bubble, the bubble stuff, like the soap. Like, how the bubble soap comes in those big jars, and then you have that long stick and you blow the bubbles and stuff. One day, the two bottles of the bubble stuff, the kids left it on the ground, and that dumb dog bit through those bottles and drank the bubble soup. Thank God she didn't die, but she must have been blowing bubbles while we were gone through her mouth, where she peed the bubbles out. That was one of the craziest things that she did. I was like, you dumb dog. Drinking the fucking soap, bubble soap water. Two bottles of it, too. And she's got water in her bowl. But I guess she wanted some soapy water. You have a Labrador and a Doodle. The Doodle was the culprit. Oh, shit. I love Labradors. They're so smart. I don't really like doodles too much and young. I don't like small dogs that much. I like big dogs. Big dogs are more protective and they will protect you. And I feel more comfortable with a bigger dog because I can handle a bigger dog, right? Walk him and hold him. And I feel like a bigger dog is better, more protection. I've always had a big dog. My pit bull, he was big. He was 80 pounds and he was nothing but muscle, no fat. I walked him every day for years. Even to the day he died, he was very muscular and he was like 70 something pounds when he died. He was a brick house pit bull. He was a red nosed pit. He was huge. He had a big ass tongue and his chest was huge. His chest was probably about 12 to 14 inches wide. And when he walked on the sidewalk with me, people walked to the other side of the road. They was like, no, no, I ain't walking next to this damn thing. People were scared of my dog when I walked him on the side of the road. And I said, he's not going to do nothing to you. Oh, no, 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 we don't trust that. That dog's too big. I said, look, he ain't gonna do nothing to you. He's not the type of dog that's going to snap at people. He was cool. He never did nothing wrong to nobody. He was very protective though. He just didn't like other dogs and cats and shit. She's pretty big, as tall as my Labrador. Oh shit. Oh, you got one of those big doodle dogs. Yeah, because you have like the big ones and the small ones. My neighbor has like a big ass doodle dog too. I think they're called something else, but it looks like a big, like, poodle looking thing. Poodle, yeah. I said doodle poodle. I was reading what you wrote. Belgian millennials and standard poodle mix. Shit. Yeah. My neighbor has two big ass looking poodle looking dogs. They're tall as shit. And all they do is bark and aggravate everybody. But my boxer I had in here at Diamond, she was big. She was 80 pounds. She weighed in, yeah, when we put her to sleep on Monday, she weighed 79 pounds. She was a solid dog. She wasn't really fat. She was solid. When you gripped her, she was solid. Like, ain't really no fat on her. She had like a water pop belly towards the end because that's all she did. She drank a lot of water. But my pit bull, on the other hand, he was a brick house. There was no fat on his body. He was just like solid. You saw the veins popping out of his muscles and shit. Yeah. Well, I don't like boxes, but it was originally my my ex brother in law's dog and my sister's. And then when they got a divorce, I pretty much took over the dog. And but even before the divorce, I was with her every day anyway, because I live here, and the dog was a part of my life from day one. Because I love animals, so even though the dog wasn't mine, it was still mine. Like it was still around me more than the original owner, because they didn't care about the dog like that. I did. I was the one who took care of her all the time. And the last 4 years, she's been living inside with me. Because when we built the pool, I was always scared that she was gonna die in there because she didn't want to swim. She didn't want nothing to do with the water. She ran from water. She never wanted to get a bath. I had to like tie her up just to bath her. Sometimes I would bath her laying down because she wouldn't stand up and do the bath. Like, let me bath her. She was such a pain in the ass, man, when it came to water. But then when it was raining, she would go out in the rain and lick the water off the ground like an idiot. She was such a pain in the ass, man. But I'll take her back any day. But yeah, overall, she was a good dog. She was very protective, very loving and caring, and she, especially these last couple of years, she was very like attached to me a lot. She was with me 24/7. And when I started working in my workshop, she was in my workshop every day. Like I would have like a bed, had a bed in there and like a sheet and a bed, and I had her like her water bottle, and I would be in there making noise and stuff, and she'd be there just sleeping, looking at me and stuff, just chilling with me. So especially this year, she was with me like pretty much every single minute, unless we went to. The only time we didn't see each other is when we were sleeping, which was only a few hours anyway. But all day, every day this year, we were together all a lot. I don't think I'll ever get another dog because it's too painful to deal with. It's too much work. It's too much money. It's too much like bullshit you have to go through. And when they die, you're devastated. You don't even want any. You don't want to go through that again. Because I promised myself that when my first dog died at 15 years old, I never wanted another dog again. And then when I came to live over here, they got a dog. And I told them not to. And they still got a dog. So I ended up loving that dog, and now she's gone, and then I have to deal with the heartache. And she was expensive to maintain. She ate a lot, and I'm the one who like bought her food in the end. My sister would pay for some of it sometimes, and I would pay for majority of it because I took her over. She was pretty much my dog indirectly, but I don't think I can ever get another dog. I doubt it. I would love your dog or love someone else's dog, but I don't want my own anymore. I don't want a dog that I have to take care of every day. And then 10 years from now, she's going to fucking die. I don't want that. I can't do it anymore. I really can't. My heart can't take it anymore. 'Cause I get so attached to an animal more than I get attached to a human being. I know people people like myself that don't like people. You'll love an animal more than you'll love any other person in the world, and that's how I am. Like I loved her more than I loved anybody else. Cause you're with your animal like 24/7. You're not really with your mom or your dad every day, right? You're not with your unless you're with your kids or your wife. That's different, right? But when you're single like me and you're like you're here, I don't see nobody else but my dog all the time. So it's like now it's like it's devastating because that person, that dog you see every day is no longer there. So it's like I can't take that emotional feeling again. I've had it too many times now. I've lost so many animals, and then my dad, and now my dog again. I'm like, fuck this, man. I can't take that shit no more. It's just too heartbreaking. I just can't do it. I wish I can get another dog sometimes and just like sometimes getting another dog, you take away the pain from the other one, you know? And I'm like, fuck this. I'm not doing it. Well, it's midnight here. Happy New Year. It says Thursday, January 1st, 12 a.m. It's official. I am now in 2026. I can hear the fireworks. I can hear the fireworks. Hold on a sec. Yep. I don't know if you guys can hear the fireworks. I let the door open so you guys can hear it. I can hear everybody like, yeah, oh my God. Love you too, Tanya. Happy New Year. I hope you have the best year ever. Hope we all do. That's it. That was only like a couple boom, 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 booms. That's all the fireworks you're gonna give us? Come on, man. I heard a few fireworks just now, but that was pretty small. That was like not even a minute. Oh, here we go. I hear him again now. I hear him, yeah. It's a lot more faint now. There was a few more there. I can still hear him in the distance. Yep, I hear him again now. I was about to say that was pretty short, but now I can hear him again. I can hear my neighbors making noise. Yay, Happy New Year. Thank God 2025 is over. Amen. Hallelujah. Good riddance. Go away 2025. You annoyed the shit out of me. Even to the last day. Oh, it's now officially a 10-year. So now it's the completion. We've completed another cycle. We've completed another 10-year cycle. And the fireworks are still going. That's good. I can hear. That's cool. These people are getting a couple minutes of fireworks. It's been 3 minutes so far. You got 3 hours to go, Luna? Someone's beeping their horn. Beep. The fireworks are still good. Sounds good. I'm glad it's not windy. That means everybody can see the fireworks properly. And I'm glad it's not raining. At least people got to see the fireworks and have a good time. Yo, Happy New Year, bro. My nephew's outside, probably watching the fireworks. He's like, bro. He's hilarious. I can hear a lot of my neighbors are outside watching the fireworks. You can see it from here. I've seen it a million times. I'm good. 8 p.m. where you are. You still got 4 hours to go. I've been on here for almost 2 hours. I can hear the little kids are down there again. Look at the fireworks. Oh my god. I just heard somebody's daughter. Sometimes people go down to the field. There's like a big field down there. And some people hang out down there. Yeah, I think it's over now. I don't hear him anymore. Yeah, pretty much. Well, I know it's official now because it's past 12 o'clock. It says January 1st. So I'm happy that it's over and done with. Especially after Monday, I said, yep. When I had to put down Diamond, I said, I can't wait till this fucking year is over. I had to bury my dad and my dog. Fucking bullshit. And I hope this year I don't have to do it anymore. I need a break from death. I need a break from bullshit. But I know nothing's gonna be perfect, but I just want an easier year this year than last year. Fuck's sake. I'm sure it will be. I hope for the best. But like I said today to my neighbor, I said, last year, 2025 wasn't all that bad, but it was bad enough. But it definitely was like it was a 50-50 year. It was half bad, half good. Like the first 5 months of this year, of last year, well, now it's last year to me. 2025, first 5 months was okay. But then the last 7 months was like, what the fuck is going on? Mind you, August was pretty cool. August was a nice month for me. I kind of like was in the pool every day, chilling out, working. August was probably like one of the best months this year for me. August was a nice, calm, decent month. But all the other months was pretty much shit. That's a good life, Tanya. I wish that for you, and I hope it works out that way. And I hope you get to enjoy, you know, the relief of dealing with, certain things. I feel like now I can start the new year off, focusing on myself now. I don't have Diamond to focus on a lot more because a lot of my life revolved around her because of her, how she was, you know. Now I just need to take care. I'm just going to continue to take care of my mom, make sure she's okay every day, make sure the house is in tip top shape. Now I can leave here and not worry about Diamond anymore. And I think that's kind of like, a relief for me, knowing that I don't have to worry about Diamond anymore. She's gone now and I can focus on, my life and helping my mom and making sure that, everything's okay and safe and secure. Because when Diamond was here this past year, I was always worried about her, and worrying about, whether or not she's gonna fall in that damn pool and die one day, and then I always worried about her, something bad happening to her, and I'm not gonna be here to save her or to deal with her. Then when I put her over here for the last 2 weeks, I felt more secure, more happy. I felt like, okay, yeah, she's in a secluded area, she's safe, nothing's gonna happen to her. And that lasted 2 weeks, and then poof, she's gone. Just like that. All that shit I did just for her to say, you know, goodbye. I'm gone now. Thanks for the good sending off, Mark. That's how I gotta look at it. I can't be discouraged or like, be mad that I did all that. I feel like I didn't. I felt like sometimes I did it for nothing, but I didn't. I did it for her. At least she was happy on her way out. So now I can focus on my life now and all about me. I have nothing to hold me back anymore. And my mom, she can fend for herself. She's very independent and she needs me, not every day, but she needs me, period. I get to go down her house now and not have to worry about nothing over here. I can go and deal with her and go help her at her house and make her house, tip top shape and she can be happy. I can do a lot. Yeah, exactly. I finally get to focus on myself 100%, which is great. It's just sad that, you know, everything happened the way it did. But I guess it happened for a reason. At one point in time, I had to get my life back. And sometimes death is the only way. So, so good. Well, it's official. It's January 1st, 2026. And now it's time for Marky to deal with everything that I needed to do. It's time to really focus on my life, focus on my business, my channel, my online stuff, my DJing, everything. I can focus on everything now that I want to focus on and still help everybody else. So it's showtime. It's 2026. So Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go sleep. My eyes are like, I wanted to stay here and at least be here for for New Year's. So I know you guys, some of you have a couple more hours to go, but I can't stay here that long. So I wish you guys a happy new year again. I wish you all the best for this year. And whatever happens this year, we'll be here for each other no matter what. And let's remember 2025, but not dwell on it too much. Let's use that as motivation to have a better year this year and know that everything happens for a reason. Literally. Anyway, guys, I love you. I'll see you all tomorrow. You too, Tanya. Enjoy yourself. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow for sure. And yeah, Happy New Year. Hopefully, it's a Happy New Year forever. I'm not going to say hopefully. I know it's going to be a Happy New Year. I know 2026 is going to be great. I know God will grant me that. All right, guys. Love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.